What's up, guys? Welcome to the 154th episode of the Grow My DJ Business podcast, brought to you by Digital Music Pool and the Grow My DJ Business Discord. My name's Kareem.
Gary W here.
What's going on,
today?
man?
Little different setup today.
Yeah, Gary's traveling. He's been up here in Jersey, DJing.
A week.
Guy had like the longest weekend that I've ever seen.
Partly my fault. Partly my fault. Yeah, I've been up here for 7 days and I've done a lot. 7 gigs already? 8?
Yeah, how long are you here and how many gigs you playing while you're here?
I'm going to wind up doing, I think, 15 in 10 days. I think 15 gigs in 10 days is what it's going to wind up
Including
being,
a couple Saturdays that are like start like 12 to 3 kind of thing.
I'm prepping for my set at 12:30 last Saturday and realized that one of the owners decided to text us at 12:30 at night the night before. You know, I'm just got done with a gig. You're gigging. And booked double for 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we didn't book anybody. So guess who was 15 minutes from the venue? And I went and played that set. And it was about 100 degrees outside in the sun. When they have a roof that they could just retract right over you, they did not. Big shout to Doug Spin coming out to cover me for 2 hours so I could sit down and eat actually and have some water and relax for a second.
Yeah, man, we've had like a little bit of a heat wave up here, and it's been rough out doing day gigs.
I feel very at home. It feels like Florida, like especially with the humidity out and the real feel's been around 100 here. You know, for us this time of year, it's usually about 105 every day down there, which, you know, it feels very much at home. But I did the Brew at the Zoo gig last week.
At the Bronx Zoo, right?
At the Bronx Zoo. Big shout to Specialists. They do a great job, Phil and Fauzi. Their team's phenomenal. They're there for like 2 weeks prior, setting up lighting, and they make the zoo look beautiful at night.
God bless.
Yeah, crazy. But their team's great. You know, I get a sound guy there, and I get light people, and they're phenomenal. I actually had an opener this year, which was great.
Wow,
just keeps getting better every year. Keeps getting better every year. And then, did that triple on Saturday, and then Sunday back on 626 Roof for their afternoon party, which is always a good time. But been a lot of rooftop parties. Last night, a hilarious rooftop story. They do a really cool event. Yesterday is the anniversary of marriage equality, and that's what 626 is named after. Obviously, yesterday was June 26th, and we're in the middle of the vow renewals. They do vow renewals to anybody that wants to renew their vows up there on this date every year. And in the middle of the renewal, which only lasts like 10 minutes, like, you know, the skies opened up and a storm just came across, and we're trying to shut the roof, and wind's blowing the umbrellas over. I got
Crazy.
my shirt off, covering my my computer, which was hilarious. They wrap the renewals. I start playing It's Raining Men. It's just everybody's laughing. We're having a good time. It was pretty good. But yeah, that was fun. But a lot of rooftop gigs. It's been fun.
Nice.
Like
I mean, that's like summer vibes, right? We just talked about it last week, how in New York, all the rooftop stuff, it's just like where people want to be right now.
Yeah, it's been great vibes. You get to switch up what you play usually. People are open to hearing just feel good music, you know, whether that be pop, whether that be house. And we'll talk about some of those pop records in a little bit here.
Yeah, man, I had an interesting weekend as well. I was I was in Atlantic City, and then I was at the Jersey Shore in doing a day party and a night party at 2 different venues down there. I went to my first country music festival, guys. Where's Ferrari sound effects? Yeah, one of our,
what'd you think?
Big Country was DJing the Barefoot Festival in Wildwood, New Jersey this weekend. Our boy TJ was down there too. TJ Bowman was DJing the other stage. So yeah, it was cool to just go check that out, show some love. Heard some acts who I have no idea who they are, but, you know, it was just cool to be in that scene and see what's going on. It was sold out and packed. It's incredible. A 4-day festival. And the video from countries like nighttime club sets in the tent under the tent was like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it was cool. I wish I got to stay there a little longer, but I had to get out of there for my own gigs. But that was cool.
That's a great festival because we're not oversaturated in this area for country music festivals, you know, where we do have a lot of electronic music festivals in the area at this point, and that's a little oversaturated, and they're having more trouble selling tickets for those. And, you know, I think that's why them selling out is you know, probably a little easier than something else that doesn't, that does have a little competition.
Yeah, it's unique. It's literally on the beach. So, you know, you're on the beach
Amazing.
for the shows, and they have tents and obviously the main stage, but yeah, like different group of people out at those shows than the people that I'm used to being around in nightlife or at EDM shows.
Yeah, I'm sure your age group vary big time, right?
Yeah, like more American flags than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
More white people than I've ever seen, for sure.
Yeah, it's just that's the nature of the beast, right?
But yeah, it was a cool experience for sure. And you know, Big Country's crushing right now, man. This guy's all over the place. And
gotta ride that wave.
Getting booked for big venues, big shows, festivals. So shout to Country and all the other country DJs doing their thing.
Yeah, ride that country wave.
So you know, that was part of my weekend. Like I said, I had a kind of crazy weekend. I had multiple shows. I have a Tesla, right? So where I live, there's tons of superchargers. Driving down to the shore, there's a lot less. So I was running late. I was running late on Saturday for my afternoon gig. And I'm like, you know what? I'll be fine. I can get there. My car will be fine. And I'll just go charge after. I come back and my car is at 0.
Jeez.
So I won't get into why, but the battery got drained while I was sitting there during my gig. And like I had to get to another gig at night. And luckily I have the portable charger. So I was sitting at a gas station that was close to where I was, like for hours, trying to get a couple percent to get to the next supercharger. I finally do. I get to the next charger and it doesn't work. Like the charger doesn't work. It's a charge point charger. It's not a Tesla charger. It doesn't work. So I'm like stranded. My car's stranded. I'm at the police station trying to get them to help me. I had to literally leave my car, go DJ my gig, and then come back and sit in a regular plug outlet, sitting there for like 3 hours until my car had enough battery to get to where I needed to get to supercharge my car and then get home. I was a good hour and 20 minutes from home. I literally didn't walk into my apartment until 6:30 in the morning. And like,
jeez,
my set ended at 2. So tough weekend for me. And I'm like waiting for all my electric car haters to start hating on me. But lesson learned, I made a huge mistake. It cost me a lot of time and energy.
Yeah. So that charger that you got to, it wasn't compatible with your car, or it just actually didn't work?
It was working. It just wouldn't charge my car. It was a charge point charger, which technically I have the connector to charge my car, but it just didn't work.
Does that happen often? Have you ever had to use one of those, or no?
No, because I'm usually close enough to a supercharger for Tesla and just do that.
Right. I was thinking about this when you got your car, and I'm like, would I be able to have, because I still live in a pretty rural area. Would I be able to?
It would be very hard for you.
I'd have a charger at home though, I guess. In my garage.
I don't have a charger at home. I always have to use the supercharger.
Right. So that'd be the difference. Because a lot of people have Teslas by me, like most people. Like it's my community's filled with them. But everybody must have chargers at their house, and that's what makes it easily.
Great weekend in some aspects, and that kind of sucked. But I don't know.
Man.
Let's get into our first topic here. I feel like we've been drawing on about nonsense for a while.
Let's do it.
So something that you and I have dealt with for a very long time, and part of the reason why Get Down exists is because of bookers, venue owners, managers forever telling DJs, if you work here, you can't work here. Or we don't want you to work in these other venues surrounding the city that our venue's in, kind of thing. We even see it at a greater scale with some of the bigger acts. For example, DJs that are DJing in Atlantic City at certain venues obviously can't play the other venues in Atlantic City, but also have a 90-mile radius that they can't play any venues within the 90 miles without consent from the venue that they have the deal with.
Yeah.
And I'm just hearing a lot of our DJs going through this. And if our DJs are going through it and you and I have been going through it, other people listening to this show are going through it. So
Yeah.
how do you handle someone telling you if you DJ here, you can't DJ there?
Well, we could talk about this from a couple different angles, right? We could talk about this from a city angle. Like a lot of times, if you're playing at one major spot in a city, let's say Jersey City, just for lack of conversation, a lot of times if you're playing in one big venue there, you can't play in the other big venue in that city. I sometimes think that is okay. I think if it's like two rival places, I only have this happen when it's like a place that's right next door to each other, right? I had it in Morristown with the competitor that was literally next door. Have it currently in Jersey City at the place that is literally next door to a place that we book at. It's annoying, but you have to understand that from the business owner's perspective, right? And I am understanding of that. It doesn't annoy me.
Well, explain that, because like I don't always understand it. I'll be sort of on the other side on this.
Sure. I just think if I was booking talent and I think that you're bringing out a certain crowd and you play a certain style, I want that style to be the style of my venue, right? I don't want that music to then translate next door, because then why do I go to your venue if the DJ style that you bring fits my place? Well, it shouldn't fit next door's place, because we shouldn't have the same musical style, because that's the differential in why people will come to my place and not the place next door. You understand?
I do. I think from a DJ perspective, are you booking me every week? If you're booking me every week, I understand. If you're booking me once a month, book me more, or pay me more.
I think it would have to be every other week, right? Like you cannot tell somebody that they can't go play somewhere unless you're booking them multiple times a month, 2 to 3 times a month at least, and at a good rate, right? Like you got to be getting a decent rate.
Right.
And that's
if
where
I'm so important to your venue and your sound, then invest in me and I won't go play anywhere else. Take care of me, kind of thing.
And that's the negotiation that I think DJs need to take to these places that are telling them, hey, you can't go play here. So, well, okay, well, I won't. I absolutely won't. But like my upcharge is going to be X amount more, because now I'm handcuffed to only playing your place twice a month. Whereas I could be playing your place 2 to 3 times a month, and I could be playing that place 2 to 3 times a month. And now this is this many dollars, and then you got to make the dollars and cents make sense, right? So it's like, right. Okay, if it's $2,000 for the month or $3,000 for the month, well, you got to match that, right? You're taking money out of my pocket, so you got to go into negotiation and be like, well, these are the numbers. These are the how many gigs it's affecting. These are what the numbers look like, and if you can match that, then I'm okay with just playing your venue. Right? I think
I was playing a little devil's advocate here, but I would agree. I think if there's 2 rival nightclubs that are doing similar bottle service style stuff with similar style music, I would understand how if you play at one, you really can't play at the other one. I get it. I do understand that. I think where it gets a little crazy is where, venue owners are booking someone once a month and telling them that they can't play venues that are like 10 miles away and 15 miles away. And like, that's crazy to me.
That's nuts.
That's crazy to me. And I think as DJs, we sort of, as a young DJ, you sort of just have to do what they're asking you to do, right? But once you start building a name for yourself, like you can start making the rules a little bit, right? Where it's like, you just do and you ask for forgiveness later, whatever that saying is, right?
Yeah.
Where like, I'm going to do me. And if you have a problem with it, we can have a conversation about it. And then I can make a decision whether I'm not going to do what you don't want me to do or not based on our negotiation. Because at that point, if you're calling me to tell me, hey, I don't want you to do this, or it's not a good look, then okay, let's lock in the rest of the summer at this rate. And let's pick the dates right now. And I won't play over there. Like, I think these conversations you can use as a negotiation conversation as well.
Yeah. These
And,
are things.
Yeah,
Sorry.
as someone more established, you can sort of like flex a little bit. If they really want you, they're not going to care, right? As long as at the end of the day, you're staying at their place.
So what happens if it's the flip side and you're not more established and you really want to play this venue, but you're having opportunities at other venues?
I would
that's
say
really difficult.
It's really difficult, but I will always say to a DJ, take the opportunity that's presented to you over the potential of another opportunity.
Yeah.
And you taking this other opportunity, it's just going to create more of a buzz around your name, right? And if that venue that you really, really wanted to get into wants you to play at your place and you're creating enough buzz and you're putting music and your socials are great, they'll book you and they'll try to take you away from the other place. But if you're playing at neither because you're holding out hope that you're going to play at this best place, how does that help you? I think in very rare situations, you can go all in on a venue, but you have to understand that you're probably going to get booked there in the next, 6 months kind of thing. But most DJs take the opportunity that's presented to you first, instead of holding out hope for this other opportunity. Would you rather play at the second best venue in a market or not at all? That's how I look at it. You could always make a move from the second best to the best, but that second best place will help your resume in getting booked in the best place, I think.
So it's kind of funny because this is happening a lot at the Jersey Shore, and it happens every year at the Jersey Shore because it is a shortened season, right? People are only down there for like 4 months, and there's a handful of places that everybody wants to play, and people have their eyes on certain venues, and they'll hold out in other venues. But what you don't realize, though, is when the season's over, if you went and played that second option, maybe not your first pick, but if you at least you went to go play your second option, it does improve your resume come fall when you come back into your regular market, right?
For sure.
And I'm sure that this happens across the country. Like,
right,
no matter
this
where
is
you
every
are.
vacation area. This conversation works for every holiday spot.
Right. So, go play that other venue, and now you come back and you're like, well, I at least went and played X place, and come September, it's like, well, maybe you could play the number one place in your market, in your regular market, right? You're just making yourself look better. If you hold out and play nowhere, well, that's a whole season lost, number one.
Right.
A whole season of money lost, and you got to wait until next year. And are you going to get that opportunity next year? Are you going to wait around again? And this could be an endless cycle. Like, you have to take the gig that's offered to you and to make the money and to put your name out there a little more and create that buzz, like you said, because
for summer or holiday markets, no one's making decisions, or it's very rare for venues to make decisions on DJs this season. Like, those decisions are made last season and through the off season.
Yeah.
And most of these places are booking their spots out well in advance, Like, there's places that I work at that book the DJs for the entire summer in April and May. So if you're not in this summer, like, you need to do all the networking that you need to do to be in for next summer. So who are those people that are making decisions? How do you get close to those people? How do you show those people what you're currently doing outside of their holidays, seasonal area? And go make the personal connection and let them know, hey, I understand this year's probably fully booked out. If you ever need somebody, I would love to be here. For next season, what do I need to do to be here? Like, that's you have to plant those seeds this year for next year. Now, could you get put on this season? Maybe. But I think your brain should just be saying, I'm putting in the work now for next year.
How much importance are you putting on spending all of your time to network, maybe for this conversation, in the Jersey Shore, and taking your time away from your regular market? Like, should you be still gigging a little bit in your regular market? We see like an exodus of DJs up here, and we feel it. Our company feels it because we still have the gigs. The gigs don't go away in the summertime. They don't leave and go down the shore like everybody else does. Everybody leaves and goes down the shore, and we're still left with gigs.
Right.
So, like, how much importance are you putting on going to network down the shore versus still gigging up in your home market? Like, should you maintain a balance? Like,
Yeah.
because if you don't maintain a balance, like you're hurting one or the other, you know?
We've had this conversation with our DJs a number of times. Sometimes we need to remind them, like, hey guys, our market is our home market is open 12 months a year. The market that you guys are all fighting to go DJ in is really open. It is open 12 months a year, but all the seasonal places are only open for 3 months a year. So like, as a young DJ, for me, yes, I was down the shore. Yes, I was Atlantic City. Yes, I was networking. But I never, ever, ever stopped playing in my main places in my home market in New York City and in Hoboken and Jersey City, because I knew I'd sacrifice these 3 months to be able to have the rest of the 9 months where it's peak up here in my home market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I was playing it at my main club here 2 to 3 times a month, I was giving them at least once a month, at least,
Right.
just to get in the door, say what's up, make sure I'm still playing, make sure they get to hear me DJ throughout the summer. And not for nothing, it shows that you care a little bit about the venue up here, because they're hurting and they're struggling to book DJs too. So if their main fall and winter DJs still give them a couple dates, it's like one less thing to worry about. And you know, this for our DJs, it's the same thing. Like, I get it. All you guys want to be down the shore, and we've put videos in the chat about this, but like, we still need you up here to give us something.
Yeah.
You know, like, we still need you to book our gigs that are happening 12 months a year. And it might not be the best gig in the summer here. It might be slower, but you know what? Like, we all sort of have to suck it up a little bit.
I come from a different perspective. I was never a shore person, right? Like, never went, like, I wasn't a DJ's regular. I wasn't a regular anywhere down the shore. I had shore houses, but like, I went down Monday to Friday because I obviously I was a teacher, and I gigged on the weekends here. So I treated my shore house as like a during the week shore house, not during the weekend to go party, because I was working. I was DJing. My favorite time of year to DJ up here is in the summer. I love being around New York City and up in Hoboken and Jersey City in the summertime.
Really?
I do.
I like going there to hang out. I don't necessarily like going there to DJ, because the rooms are 50% of what they normally are, if that.
I like it because sometimes you do have a little bit lighter crowds and there is more musical flexibility. I feel like I can get away with a lot more when there's a lighter room and test things out and really, find out what the staff's into and kind of lean into that stuff and discover new music. And I've always used this as a grow my musical knowledge portion of the year. I didn't have interest in going to play DJs or headliner or any of those places. Like, it just didn't interest.
1% on that one.
I am, but I knew that just wasn't my style of music, right? Like, when I played West 5, but it was that was the peak time for EDM music. Like, everybody was an EDM DJ at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just was never my style, and like, so I guess this really is anybody who's an open format DJ that's listening to this right now that thinks about North Jersey versus South Jersey, something to kind of think about. And I always felt like this time of year too was great to go. I liked to go out a lot on the weekends up here if I had a night off. I can remember going to like see you at Teak, right? And like, I was able to then talk to the people that work there and get to know the people that work there, because it was a little slower than it normally was. And it just gives you more networking opportunity up here, so that when September comes around, like, all right, well, Gary came out a lot this summer. Like, let's get him in the rotation for the fall, and now it's going to come back big. Now I just padded my stats from September to June, and it's a better financial play long term.
Well, I think it's the smart move in order to create those relationships in your home market, like you said, to set yourself up for the future. It is a long-term play, and it's smart.
And there's a reason why I've been doing this for 23 years.
Right. It's part of the reason why DJs who are going to play in that seasonal zone still need to take care of their home market. You still need to play those residency spots that you play the rest of the year, whether it sucks or not. You just have to do it, because the venues appreciate it. The venues want you there, and like you said, maybe if there's a venue in your home market that you aren't playing in, it's a great opportunity to go and try and get in there for peak season, which would be the fall and winter.
Yep.
So yes, super smart and super strategic and going against the grain, because all the DJs are at the seasonal venues trying to get in right now, which is most likely not going to happen. A handful of DJs will.
I'm trying to think. Offhand, I can think of 6 different places that I gained residencies at because of doing this.
It was always New York City for me. I always made my New York City connections in the summer, where I'd make my move into a club that I was trying to get into in the summer, because those bookers were really looking for good DJs to play their room. And like, I would do it, whether it was everyone was at the Hamptons or not. It was just good for me because I wanted to be there in September, like you said.
Right. Yeah. So
there's levels to this shit, man. There's levels to this shit.
There's different ways to look at it, right? And I get those people that want to go play the biggest places down the shore. I understand it, right? But you got to remember, those places still got to feed their local guys that are there all year round too. So not only are you competing with every other DJ from up here that wants to play there, but you're competing with the really good DJs from down there that deserve to play down there too.
Right.
And I know we're talking Jersey Shore, North Jersey right now, but this goes for anybody's, it goes for your market with your vacation spot, right?
Yeah, because everybody has it. New York has Hamptons. Chicago has the lake. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
I would say this is hard, guys. Like, making these decisions, working through this strategy, and like, it's very, very hard. It doesn't get easier as you continue through this. It just doesn't. And you can't always make a right choice, right? But I think it is important to make a decision, right? And take action and make a move into doing something. Maybe it turns out that it was the wrong decision. Or maybe it turns out it was the best decision you ever made. You're not going to know when you're at that point, but you just have to do it, right? And hopefully you make more right decisions than wrong decisions, and you set yourself up. And you can't kill yourself for correct, right or wrong decisions. I've made a lot of wrong decisions that have, in retrospect, are like, damn, I kind of wish I didn't do that. But you know what? Like, you gotta just keep moving forward and work out of it. And if you create a big enough buzz and you create a big enough name, the places that you want to get booked at will come to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's really important to think about. If you guys create enough buzz and you're playing enough good places and you're doing what you need to do on social and music, the best venues will come to you.
Definitely.
And that's it.
That's it. It's not easy. And it's all preference. It's all preference, right? Like, your preference was different than my preference, but and we've both had different successes, right? And you have to, it all is dependent upon what you want and what the end goal is.
Right. And this is why having a game plan and goals and a list of venues that you want to get into, like, that's why it's important to have this stuff. So then you can kind of take action on some of these things that you want to make happen.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
If you guys have questions about this stuff, like, I just talked to a couple of our DJs in the last week about this type of stuff. Hit us up. We're here to help. We've been through a lot of this shit. So we can sort of help you work through it. And it's not easy, like we said. So hit us up. All right. I want to talk about something, and I hate to even bring this up because it's super cringe to me. I fucking hate it. But, like, the virality of some of the stuff that's happening with nightlife and with music. For example, the Man in Finance girl, the Hawk Tui girl, like, it just drives me crazy. And it gets blown out of proportion. It goes viral, and then everybody's trying to get a piece of it. DJs are making 100 edits and remixes of it. Everybody, all my group chats are talking about it. I'm like, shut up, please. I fucking hate it. I hate it.
NY Mag just posted an article today on, like, get to know the Hawk Tui girl. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, NY Mag, are you guys kidding? Posting this today? Like, who cares?
This is a major problem for not just our industry, but we're talking about music and the DJ industry and music industry, and like it's a
Yeah.
major problem for us. It creates this like go viral and you make it, and that's the only thing that you should care about. Like it creates that in our industry, in our culture, and I fucking hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, it's all by chance, right? Like it's just by chance. Like there's no rhyme or reason for any of this, and for there to be this much attention put on this is ridiculous. Just to be plain and simple, it's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's what reminds me of when we were younger, like one-hit wonders, like the people that made that one song
Right.
that happened to go number one on the radio or wherever it was getting played.
Yeah.
And then that person never made another song that anyone ever cared about ever again. And like that's
I-
sort of what going viral is right now. It's like a one-hit wonder. You get lucky.
The viral remix trend has been around forever, right? It's been around since YouTube became a thing, back in 2007. I remember the first couple because I would play them. I would 100% I would play them, right? And people got a kick out of them.
In many cases.
I don't do it. I don't do it anymore.
I don't really either.
I got to draw the line somewhere. But like I used to do it back then because like, yeah, I'd be playing like an open format set and then you'd play like whatever the viral thing was at the time and people would love it. And I guess people still do love it. I think it's just being exposed to it for such a long time that I think it's tiresome. It's unoriginal. And I just feel like in our industry, originality is starting to fade a little bit. I'm not talking about battle DJs. I'm not talking about scratch DJs, because that is all a very original artistry. But I mean like this need to try to create another viral hit out of something else that's viral is ridiculous and unoriginal. What are you listening to?
Sorry, I was pulling up. Shout to Champion Digital Music Pool. He has like the Hawk 2E edit that's going viral right now. 3.2 million views.
Jesus.
And it is he takes the sound and then chops it up over Give Me Everything, that build, and it goes into something else. But like,
okay,
DJs are taking advantage, right? Like you get 100 edits and remixes of these various viral people.
You have to, and we're sitting here being the like, I'm tired of it, I'm sick of it, it's unoriginal, but like I get you do have to still do it, right? Because there is demand. There's a lot of demand.
That's the problem. Like other DJs are seeing that, I can make an edit of this and it's going to go 3.2 million and it's going to help me in my career. So
right,
I'm going to do it, and I totally understand it. I get it because it could be a jump the line type thing, right? This person went viral for her thing. Maybe I can go viral and take advantage of this crazy popular thing that's happening.
Right. And
I hate that. But to your thing, like there's no originality. There's no creative aspect to it. I mean, there's some, but like, obviously like Champion made one that people like. So there is a creative value to that. And like, you have to actually do it, but it's just frustrating. And it's just like this, the virality is more important than the actual music.
Right.
Which sucks.
And that,
as someone who loves music and makes music.
That's the disheartening portion of it. But for somebody trying to make it and trying to become the next big DJ, it's important to get involved in this stuff, right? I know I'm playing both sides of the fence here, but like it is important. Like if I was younger and I'm trying to be a producer, this is a great way to kind of break through in an easy way, in a quote unquote easy way.
Jump on every trend, right?
Right.
You should jump
every trend.
Like this is a strategy. Ian Asher took this strategy, right? Other DJs are taking this strategy, and like it paid off for Ian Asher for sure.
Yeah.
Like he's killing it.
Now, there is one gentleman on social media that I follow that I absolutely love, that I feel like has used social media and virality in a positive way, and I feel like it was not even original. It was just very easy, and he was just this guy called Fish 56 Octagon. Fish 56 Octagon.
You put this in an email, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? I never heard of this person.
Dude from the UK, right? and he's just pure entertainment. All he does is play a record. He just wants to expose people to good music. That's all he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to become viral. He wasn't trying, I think this is just a guy that genuinely loved house music and all different types of house music. UK garage, drum and bass, future rave. Definitely not future rave, but like something that was future rave 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it just every trance, like he does a lot of really amazing trance music. But then he gets super like happy hardcore and all of these like older genres that have kind of been put to bed, and he's kind of reintroducing people to where all these samples that you're hearing in production now, he's not showing you the new production, he's just showing what the old production was, right? And he's doing it all on vinyl, and he's like a vinyl junkie. Now he's gotten so big, he was doing like 6 to 8 videos per day at one point. But like he's like, I kind of was starting to run out of records, so like he would do MP3s and things like that.
Right.
But now people are like sending him records to play on his Instagram. He does it in like a bathrobe, like he's just chill about doing it. He's like eating a snack while he's doing it now. It's just, but it's all really amazing music, and it really features where a lot of the house music that we know and love right now, kind of where it came from. And now he's getting booked all over the UK at every festival, and he's playing festivals that Carl Cox is headlining, and he's getting to meet all these different people. And I think here's somebody who kind of went accidentally viral and accidentally got booked at all of these festivals because of social media, but like in a good, positive way, in my mind.
Yeah, I think this is just someone who takes something that they love and puts it out into the world, and people appreciate it, There's Habibi Beats, like he sort of did the same thing a lot during the pandemic. He was doing like the sample thing, which was pretty cool, and now he's like throwing his own parties and playing all over the country and getting booked. So like I think these type of people are an example of they love the music, they're doing something for the music and for the culture and putting something out into the world that they really love and care about, and in turn people recognize that and they get popular. And I think that's like everything that's good about social media.
Right.
And virality and people getting booked because of something they're doing on the internet.
Right.
Whereas the girl in finance has a song with David Guetta now and is getting paid $5,000 a show in Vegas to go jump around and whatever.
Yeah. There's just two sides to every story, right? And not that the first thing that we talked about is all bad, but it is annoying at the end of the day.
Because listen, how many people are going to ask you to play like, yo, can you play that Hawk Tui edit remix at your gigs this weekend? Probably a handful,
Yeah.
It's a great way to connect with your audience as well, right? Like, it's what everybody's talking about. You come out to a Man in Finance or a Hawk Tui intro, like people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he did that," kind of thing, Like, as much as I can hate on it, I can also pull from it and use it to my advantage in my shows. You know what I mean?
Did you download the Man in Finance David Guetta?
Yeah, I've had it. I mean, I played a version of it before the David Guetta one came out. I
won't even download it.
I don't have the Jumpian edit yet, but I'll probably get it just to have it in my back pocket. Like, I'm playing at a venue on Friday that's it's young, like it's super young, and like I know that it'll work.
Yeah, I guess the venues that I pick to play are not young, so like, not only will it probably fall flat, but I'll sound cheesy at the same time.
Yeah,
I really believe that, and that's why I won't even put it in my computer. Like, there's just no way. But I also play our venue, so I'm not going to get in trouble for not playing it,
Right.
I just have to put my foot down somewhere, and that's where I'm drawing the line.
You and I do play very different places, right?
Yeah,
and it's just
definitely.
Like
very, very different.
Something that could work for me in a bigger room, bottle service, young situation won't work for like the super open format, older crowd. Like, it just won't. They won't connect to it. It doesn't make sense, and it'll make you disconnect from your crowd more so than anything, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I'm playing probably more 27 and over crowds more than anything.
I'm playing the NYU crowd on Friday. Like, like that's how you connect with them. You play stuff that that's viral, that they know,
No, I understand. I understand that. Definitely.
I think that's a good transition, right? Like, uh, we were talking off air, and we were kind of talking a little bit in our Discord about how the pop scene right now is in a really good place, and it's kind of driven by these female pop singers. It's all of the requests I'm getting are for these female pop singers.
It's huge right now. I mean,
Sabrina Carpenter, right? Like, her songs are my number one requested, I would say.
Well, not only that, but it's the biggest track out, period. By far, not even close.
Please, please, please.
Please, please, please. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Somebody asked me for it last night. I couldn't believe that I didn't have the original. Because where I was at, like, I was like, I have to play the original. Like, I can't. Right. The room that I was in needed the original. It didn't want, Charlie Lane's remix, and which is excellent. That's the one that I play, I think. And so I had to download it on the spot, and that's not like a very club friendly track, but like all the remixes are better. But just all of those, Chappelle Roan and Charlie XCX, which I didn't realize how big all of this was until I started to prep for my sets for these 2 weeks, because I've been off for about a month, and I feel like it's just been like an explosion in June of all of these female singers that are just like taking over the pop world again. Like, we've saw how big country got for a little bit. Now it feels like, okay, now we're going to lean into this female pop thing for the summer, because it just feels summer. It really does. Like,
right.
And it feels summer up here specifically. It's just really good for everything that's happening in the city right now, especially surrounding Pride and having Pride Month in June. And these are all very LGBTQ friendly artists that are just heavy. Like, it's all that's being played in those venues, and will be remixed a million times by, all the DJs that do run that circuit. And I feel like it's also maybe timing. Like, was this record label timing that, or is this just by chance that all of these female pop vocalists are coming out and hitting really hard around June, around Pride, where they can hit all the festivals and they can hit all of the things, all the musical things that happen around all the Pride festivals around the country, because there's just dollars in it. There's so many dollars in it, like showing up to these festivals and performing for all of these artists, because you're just not doing it right now with just streaming anymore financially as an artist, right? You have to show up and you have to play live shows. And I just feel like it's a really good time for this to hit. I love it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I don't mind it. I think the songs are fine. I think I don't have like the best go-to remixes or edits of them yet. I'm going to probably make my own this week because they are so popular, and there's a gap, right? I always tell you guys, like, I make edits when there's a gap in my set. I have a gap in my set with some of these vocals on, I need something to play at that 11 p.m. midnight time with these vocals, and I just don't have them. I have like the new disco house version and like the 10 p.m. versions of these songs, which is what they're made to be, right? But I think as a club DJ, it's important. You need to take advantage of these popular songs and make them work in your set, right? I'm not playing 10 p.m. open sets in most cases, so I need the peak hour with these vocals to connect with my audience somewhat.
Hey, DJs, want to like make it in the remix world right now? Like, any Chappelle Roan remix would be amazing at this point, because there's a lack. There's a lack, and especially like this weekend, I'm like looking at it. I'm like, I really need something for the peak hour sets for all the Pride events that I'm doing, and I don't have anything right now.
Well, like, give it about 6 hours, and I might have some edits for you.
Thank goodness.
That's on my
there's a
agenda
lack
for the day. But yeah, like I think we've seen some waves, right? We've seen different waves happen. We had the Latin wave a couple years ago, Bad Bunny driving that. We had the country wave, which is still going. On the dance music side, we've had the techno wave. Now it's like we've had the female rapper wave, which is still going, right? So I think right now it's this like pop vocal female singer wave, and obviously Taylor is like the kind of at the top of that and sort of drives that ship as well. But I think these young artists are really coming in and making music that really connects to audiences in the summer, feel good, chill, good vibes type stuff.
Yeah, your girl Taylor.
I said off air, like, I don't know. I don't get the Taylor thing. Like, her music is depressing and slow and boring.
Yeah.
Who wants to listen to that?
Fuck. I got to move my plug real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry.
That's why all the remixes obviously work because Taylor's so popular, but like at no point am I ever playing an original Taylor Swift song in any situation unless it's like first dance at a wedding or something, like, and I don't do those. So like just boring, depressing music.
It's not for everybody. It's for a lot of people though.
It's for everybody except me.
For everybody. You're the only one.
You know what grinds my gears? Like I see Travis Kelce, like he don't like that music. Shut up, Travis. You don't like that music. Give me a break. Travis is listening to Gunna in the car. He's not listening to Taylor Swift. Give me a break.
Man. Or Taylor. She just gets it.
Shout to Taylor Swift, biggest artist in the game.
Yeah, seriously. Generational.
I can hate a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
Hold on. Before we wrap, I just want to talk a little more. So it's early in the summer, right? We're late June here.
Right.
Do we have candidates for Song of the Summer? Do we have, I know we talk a lot about dance music here. I have a couple in dance music, but like, is Sabrina Carpenter like Song of the Summer right now?
I'd like to say right now, please, is,
it's the most requested song by far for that. And actually, the Kendrick, Not Like Us, is probably the number one. After that, it's Sabrina Carpenter.
We sat at dinner on Monday with a bunch of DJs that said that they don't play Not Like Us, which was...
I don't like it, so I try not to play it unless it's like I have to kind of thing.
I play it. Like I like the beginning of it. I get out of it pretty quickly, but I just play it to kind of scratch everybody's itch, that needs to hear it.
I have a cool intro that has like an OV Ho chant that goes into it. That's pretty good. And it sort of like sets everybody up for what's coming, which I like. But like, unless I'm not playing it unless I have to play it. And for a while I sort of had to play it because it's just so big. It still is.
It still is.
So is
that going to be the song of the summer?
What? Not
still?
Like Us?
Is it just going to hold on?
I think it is now for sure. That would be my Song of the Summer.
Right.
As far as popularity and working kind of everywhere. But like, I don't always play those rooms where I can play the original of that. So,
right.
As far as dance music, I posed the question on Twitter and Threads. I've been like trying to be way more active on those spaces, guys. So if you want to throw me a follow, it's just at DJ Cream NYC. Just like posing questions like Song of the Summer type stuff. How many hours is the perfect set? Like just random stuff like that sort of gets a conversation going that I think is always up for debate. So follow me there.
Yeah.
But the song and dance music that I just love and want to fit into every one of my sets is Disclosure, She's Gone, Dance On. It's just like the perfect end of night, feel good, great vibes track or rooftop stuff.
I've been playing at peak. Like I've been working at peak at points because it's just so feel good. And it kind of perks everybody up a little bit, even though like that's what peak's doing anyway. Like I see such like a happy reaction to it when I play it. And it's just, I didn't know if anybody would know it. I don't think everybody does know it. I think it's just that good.
Yeah.
That even if they don't know it, they're like, oh, this is great. Like this, what a track this is.
I would agree with you. It's just good vibes in a track. Like it's just good vibes in a track. Great song. Love it.
There's not a lot of tracks that have come out in the last couple of years that I can think of that just give that vibe where like it doesn't matter who you are in the room, you're affected by this song being played in some way.
Yeah. And then I think a couple other songs that are very popular and maybe in contention here early in the dance music world would be Dom Dollar Girls. and also the Luffy Last Night, the Anma remix, which is like dark and dirty and doesn't necessarily translate to every room, but
I won't play that track because of
for sure. It works.
I'm just shocked because it's a Diddy track.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I can't believe this song got so popular with everything that was happening with Diddy. I just don't think people know that it's a Diddy track.
I won't. I love the song. I won't. I can't bring myself to do it.
I don't care about
I feel like somebody's going to yell at me.
I hope somebody yells at me and I'll laugh in their face. Like, it's music, guys. It's not making any kind of statement. We're playing music.
Right.
And Diddy's not even on that track.
No,
Luffy
he's
Last
not.
Night.
I realize that, but
am I shying away from Diddy? Yeah. Like, songs where he's actually on it? Yeah. In this case,
you
no.
are.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I think this is a good place to wrap, right?
Definitely.
Anything we want to promo? I would say, guys, if you want to connect with us, join the Grow My DJ Business Discord. We've been really trying to grow this out and get a ton of DJs in there. And we're just really trying to create this cool community. Gary's sharing curated playlists. We're putting exclusive edits for myself, Two-Face, some of the other Get Down DJs. Yep. You know, it's just a great place to connect with DJs. We're putting a bunch of gigs in there now this summer because we do need help on bookings. But yeah, like Gary and I are in there. It's a great place to connect and talk with us. Ask us questions about the podcast. You know, if you guys need help, it's a great place to connect with us. So the link for that is in the Discord. It's also in all of our profiles. And we hope you guys join that. Other than that, man, Gary and I have been sort of taking a TO here in the summer. We know how busy we get in August and beyond. And I think it's just been a great opportunity to kind of take a step back, assess the business, pull back on some things that maybe aren't necessarily growing our business, and enjoying the summer a little bit, man.
That's it.
It's been nice. So,
all right, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We will talk to you guys soon. Peace.
All right, guys. Peace.